All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me today. We're going to go over how to do the new commissions in Command. If you could do me a favor and I want to start really keeping track of who is in the classes. So if you could just type your name into the chat box to let me know that you were here, because then at the end of the class, I can download the chat box and have a record of who was here. So if you don't mind doing that, I would appreciate that. And then we're going to get started. So this is the new commissions in Command. So now we're going to be able to do everything right out of Command. We're going to have a way to eliminate the green sheets, those old wonky green sheets that were sometimes a little cumbersome and hard to do and not connected to your file. So what I love about this new commissions portal here is that it's all connected. So it's going to be, you're going to have your person in your database as your contact. You're going to have your opportunity, and you're going to have your commission or your offer. And it's a pretty simple process, so we're going to get started here. So obviously you know that in order to create an opportunity, you have to have the person in your database first. I'm not going to go over that here because I would hope and trust that at this point you guys have had the opportunity to add people to your database. So we're going to start here from this screen, which is the opportunities. And I'm going to go into create an opportunity. And I'm going to select, I'm going to come into opportunity. I'm going to decide what opportunity type it is. I'm going to say this is a listing. Obviously, you'll keep these here. I'm going to find my client and name the opportunity. Now, it is always in the best interest of us and the compliance department to name your opportunity the address of the property. Of course, if you're creating this opportunity before there is an address, then you'll be able to add that later on. Once you have the opportunity created, you can change the name. For now, I'm going to make sure that we put the name as the name of the opportunity. Just makes it a lot easier to find for both yourself and for the compliance department. So you'll fill in as much or as little information here as you know. I'm going to say I know the list price, I know the commission, and I'm going to create my opportunity. So now once I have my opportunity created, you'll see the profile, the documents, the offers, all of this. And we're going to select here this section here called offers. Now, if it is a Keller Williams listing of any Keller Williams listing, you'll be able to, when you click on the offers, you'll be able to select the listing from KWLS. If not, it's a good idea to come in here to the little pencil that is down here and put in property address if it is not a KW listing. So come in here and put in whatever address it is that we have and put this information in here because it'll pull that information over into your offer as we start to go through. But again, I'm going to also show you if it is a Keller Williams listing, how you can go in and pull it directly from KWLS and have all the information in there. Somebody that can't get into the class, give me 1 second. So we're going to come in here, and as you know, you have the information here for your documents. We're going to click this section here that says offers. Now you're going to notice that this commissions button is not highlighted and not able to be clicked on. This does not open up until you put in this offer in this offer section. And the reason that you're going to do this, there's a few reasons why, because you may say, why am I going to go through all this trouble? In the very, very near future, part of the consumer journey is going to be where through their app, they're going to be able to see the offer, accept the offer, and do all of the negotiating with you as either the buyer or the seller through the Keller Williams app. That's not active right now, but that will be active very soon. So putting the offer in here will then help them be able to accept or reject it based on comments that you put and consultation that you have with them. So once we click on offers, you're going to see here an offer timeline. Now you can keep track of any offers that come in on your listings. You can add them here, or if it's a buyer who's putting in multiple offers on a property, you can keep track and have a record of any offers that they've put in. It'll show on this timeline, and you will be able to have a record of which one was accepted, which one was rejected, and have all that. So once we select offers, we're going to come over here and we're going to add a new offer. And it's creating a new version of the offer. So what would you like to call the offer? You can leave this initial offer. You can say initial offer 1. You can say first offer. You can call this essentially anything that you want to call it. You'll name it and hit create. And now it's going to start to ask you questions about it. So there's 4 simple sections to this offer. So it's really quick to enter this information in. So it's going to show you here the name. It's going to show you the offer date. So you'll be able to put in whatever the date is of the offer and whatever the estimated closing date is of property. So I could come in and July 1st. And this is the first thing, the offer details. So now when you hit parties, it's going to bring you to the next phase. And you'll see here, it's got your seller information, which it took from your opportunity. And it's just asking for the party on the other side. And all it's asking for is their name. You'll see you can fill in more information, but you'll notice the little red asterisk shows you only what you need to fill in that's mandatory. So you can certainly put in the name of buyer and any little bit of information, but you don't have to fill any of this information in. It's not important. You can mark if you're pre-approved or pre-qualified. Again, it's not a required field, so you don't have to put that information in here. And then the agent on the other side. So it's going to ask you to put in the agent from the other side. And you can put in their email address and their phone, but as you see from the asterisk, it's just their name that's required. We don't need any more information than that. So that is this second section, which is parties. So you'll fill in the parties, and then next is the terms. The terms is obviously the terms of the offer. So it wants to know a couple of different things. It's asking here what the cash is that's being put down and what the finance amount is that's being put down. So here is any funds that are being put down either at contract or closing that will detract, of course, from the finance amount. So if they're putting down $25,000 and they're financing $225,000, you'll see here it brings the sale price to $250,000. So you'll put this information in here. So whatever their down payment or their cash at closing is, whatever their finance amount is, and then what their final sale price is, it will calculate that here to have that information. If you do collect any sort of earnest money, you can put it here. I know that's not customary in this area. Option fees are not customary in this area. Options and things like that. You can enter down here any seller contributions. So any seller contributions to closing costs, any contributions to the contract that the seller may be putting in, you can certainly enter down here. So this is all of the terms of the deal. And finally, the very last step is what they call an analysis. And this is where you can tell your client exactly what you think the pros and cons are of this deal. So you can tell your client that you think, good down payment maybe would be a pro. And you don't have to fill this out if you don't want to. But good down payment may be a pro. A con maybe, they don't want to close till July. And you can do this. And now, like I mentioned, when you're sending this, because you can send all this information over to your seller or buyer right now, but pretty soon they'll be able to view it all through the app and have all this information there. So Delise has a question of, would you put a seller concession in there? Yes, back in the terms, if you have a seller concession, you would put it down here and the seller will contribute to settlement costs. That would go in this section down here. So again, you can, if you want to, put in this analysis, what you think the pros are, what you think the cons are, what you think the summary would be of the deal. Do you think that this is a good deal for them to accept? And they'll have this information if you send it to them, or when they're able to view it from the app, to be able to make a good decision based on your recommendations as to whether or not they may want to accept the offer. So it was 4 simple steps: the details, the parties, the terms, and if you chose to put any sort of an analysis. And now you'll save, and you'll see here in your offer timeline now shows your offer with all your pertinent information here. And you'll have all that here. And this, again, like I mentioned, in the near future, your client will be able to view this from the app. For right now, though, you can click these dots and you can send the offer, if you'd like to your, in this case, seller, with a subject title. Here's your offer. Add an attachment if you want to add the actual purchase offer as an attachment. And you can send this offer off to your client to have them take a look at it and let you know if they want to accept or reject this offer. You also can, move this chat box out of my way. You also can add a negotiation. So let's say that the client comes back to you and wants to make some changes, or wants to negotiate. You can either edit the offer or you can add a negotiation. So I could say counter offer, and it will bring me back here where I can go back to my terms and make a change. So maybe now we counter offered, it's $255. And then when we save it, now you'll see in your timeline the new offer and then whatever negotiations we've got. So it's a really, really good record of everything that's going on here with your particular client and every offer that comes in, either on their listing or on their, or that they're buying. So once you have the offer here, yeah, we have a question, let me see. There a requirement how we label this? Absolutely not, Steve. No, Steve is asking if there's a requirement on how we label this offer for compliance. No, nobody's going to see this part in compliance but you. This is not something that gets seen by the compliance department at all. It's literally just for your record. So once we have the offer here, you're going to now establish which offer you're accepting. So when the offer is ready to go and it's an accepted offer and the contracts are signed and you're ready to do the commission, you're simply going to hit accept. And now that offer has been accepted. You can change the response if they change their mind and or something needs to be, changed here. But now you'll notice that this commissions tab is now open and you're able to click on it. And this is the part now that goes to compliance. This is the part that I see, or your MCA sees, in order to process this as the same way that we would have processed a green sheet in the past. And please note, you do not need to do this and a green sheet. This replaces the green sheet, so you don't have to do both. So just as a note. If you've already processed green sheets on things that are pending, you do not need to come in and process a commission for them before they close. The green sheet will stand as that same statement as it always did. So you'll see that it pulls over here the price, the commission, as you put in, and then what your total commission is. It's going to ask you to enter. Matt, we don't really have a solid switchover date for this. We would like people to start using this as soon as possible, to start to really switch over to this. I'm going to say probably by the end of May, though, we would really like everybody to be on here. I'm going to show you in 1 second, Elise, how it works with both agents and Keller Williams. So right now, this is just for your side of the transaction. If you are a double-sided transaction within Keller Williams, Elise is the listing agent and I am the buyer's agent, we will each do our own opportunity and our own commission. So whereas with the green sheets, the listing agent did the commission for the entire side, now each agent will do their own commission with their own dollars being accepted in their opportunity. So here, you're going to come in and it's going to ask you first for the contract date and then the closing date. Now here you're going to see this button that says co-broker payment. What that is if you are giving part of this commission to another brokerage, not a referral. There is another place to put a referral. This is for sometimes where I know sometimes with certain foreclosures or things like that, we have the whole check comes into the brokerage and part has to be put out into another brokerage. So that's what this is. If there's any sort of co-broker that is being paid, not a referral, but on the actual commission, that's what this would indicate here. So you're not going to use this too often. So you're going to start to filter down and you're going to see agent breakdown, and it's going to give you your name and information. It's going to pull all this commission information over here and start to show you the breakdown with the royalty, your commission split, company dollar, etc. Here's where you can donate to KW Cares or KW Kids Can. You can put this information here in this box and enter all this information, and it'll give you a check amount of exactly what you are going to get paid. Now, if you're on a team or you're splitting this transaction in any way, what you can do is you'll come up here to agent breakdown. And if you're alone on the transaction, on your side of the transaction, of course, same as with the Greensheets, you would be a unit of one. Each side of a transaction has to be a unit of one. So if you are splitting this on the same side with another agent, so either you're a team or you're a co-listing agent, this is where you would modify the unit amount. And then down here, you'll see when you modify the unit amount, it's sticky sometimes. And the only thing it does not do yet, which I don't care for, and I hope that they fix this, is it doesn't do the math for when you're splitting the unit. So unfortunately, at this point, you'll have to manually put in the amount. I'm hoping that that's one of the things that gets changed. I know that suggestion has been made. So if it's 0.5, obviously this is 38.25. A little sticky, this part. And I hope, again, like I said, I hope they fix this because it's a little wobbly. Me back. So now you'll see when you break the unit to under 1, when you scroll down, it's going to now give you a button that it didn't give you before to add the other agent. And you'll be able to select the agent on the other side from your office and now put them for the rest of the commission to equal 1. So now Lori would be, let's say, 0.65 because of how weird this is not working. It made me do 4.5 instead of 0.5. And again, you'll have to calculate, unfortunately, the commission for that because it's not calculating it for you. So this is how you would break it down for if you have another agent. And like I said, I'm hoping this is something that they fix and work on. So I have a couple of questions in the chat. So if you have a deal already in place and it's not through command, how do you do the green sheet? Well, you have to have all of your opportunities in command at this point. That's the only way to get paid with your documents. So you would come into the opportunity and set up this commission. You have to be using command for your Alan, if you have both sides, it's the same as if you're dealing with another agent on both sides. You as the listing agent would create one opportunity and one commission, and then you as the buyer's agent would create one opportunity and one commission. Because it, unfortunately, that's the way that it has to be because the opportunities have to be separate. So now when you come through here, this is giving me such a hard time with this math. And I apologize for this. I don't know why this is glitching so bad right now. I really just want to make this 0.5. The magic of live video. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. I want to make this 1.5. And it won't let me. 38.25, 38.25. Now this should work for me and tell me that we are 1 unit. There we go. So now with that little bit of pain, and I'm sorry that it was a little bit of pain, we have the 2 agent information here. And now we're able to submit our transaction. Now I'm going to remove this other agent because I just want to take this out since it's working so kind of wonky here, and just have it be that we are just 1 agent on this transaction right now. And it's going to show me my breakdown. I'm going to show you in 1 second, Lynn. That's why I took the other agent out, so that it was working properly, so I can show you the referral. So now it's going to show me the breakdown of the agent. It's going to give me all the information here. And when I scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see this button here that says Add Item. This is where you're going to put any referrals, deductions, any concessions, any sort of items. If you're getting a bonus, anything along those lines is going to be in Add Item. So when we hit Add Item, it's going to give me some item options. See bonus, concession, deduction, and you're going to see outside referral. When you select outside referral, it's going to tell you what is your referral percentage, and it's going to calculate that for you. You're going to have to put in here the tax ID number of the other company, because we need that on the MCA side in order to be able to pay this referral. So you'll have to ask that other agent for their brokerage W-9 so that we have this information. So you'll be able to put their information in here. Broker name, agent name, and the address and phone number of their office. All this information here will go in as your referral. And then you'll add that. So now you'll have your referral. You'll have, oops, sorry about that. And you'll have all your information here as you are going through. Now over here, you're going to see on the right-hand side, the total commission, the outside referrals. It's a little summary. What you're paying in royalty, your company dollar, what the agent's being paid, and then pay to office. And it gives it here in a nice little summary for you over here on the right. So let's see. So now when you're done, you'll be able to hit what we call the submit button. And the submit button is what brings this to the MCA. It's the same as the submit button in the green sheet. So you'll come in and you'll be able to hit submit. And now this commission has been submitted to the MCA. And now we'll know as the MCA, if I show you, if I come into the MCA screen, I can show you what we see in our opportunities. We see commission requests here, and we'll be able to look at them and either approve them or return them based on the information that you've put through. So does anybody have any questions or anything that they want to look at again? No questions?
Hi, Erin.
Hi.
I do.
Hi, Marcy, how are you?
Good. I left a message. Hang on 1 second.
Easy to find your opportunity once you create it, I will tell you that.
Sorry, technical difficulties this morning. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Marcy.
Okay. So my question to you is, and I apologize, I jumped on this call late. You probably already covered this. Real quick question. I'm just looking at one of Linda Podiak's buyer opportunities that she has. It's in a pre-contract phase, so obviously it has an accepted offer. However, when I go into the details of the opportunity, the commissions area is grayed out.
Yeah, that is the first part that I explained. You have to come into this offer section and fill in the offer. You have to add the offer to the offer section and then accept.
Got it. Okay,
and then
that makes
the
sense.
commissions tab will open right up.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
Steve,
knew it
you
was
can,
something easy.
yeah, it's all good. Steve, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Oh, thanks, Aaron. Can you hear me?
Yep, how are you?
Excellent. Thank you. So I had just a couple questions. So you earlier before you got to the green sheet, you were putting in the offer, you're making
Yep.
an offer. And then you said, once
Yep.
you do that, it'll open up the opportunity for you to go into the green sheet.
Well,
That was kind of
this isn't a green sheet anymore. The green sheet is the old version. This is the commission.
all right. So the commissions part, sorry. So once you do the offer, it'll open up the commission section.
Yes.
Can I get to that commission section if I never submitted an offer through command?
No, you have to come into this offer section and fill this offer section out first. And once you fill that offer section out, then this commissions button, it's the only time this commissions button will open up. So you do have to come in and add the offer.
But since I already have an accepted offer and we're in contract, and I'm trying to update I'm trying to get command going because I'm a little lagging here, right? So since I'm already in contract, do I have to send that out to people, or do I just have to fill it out?
Never ever have to send it out to people. You can simply come in here and add the offer for your own record to open up this commissions tab. You never have to select this and send it out to anybody through here ever if you don't want to. It's just a feature that you can now share that offer information with your client if you want to, but you certainly do not have to. So for you, Steve, I would come in and enter the information for the final accepted offer, the one that went to contract, enter the offer information and accept it. And then this commissions button will open and you'll be able to fill in all this commissions information.
So that I can have my new green sheet. Okay.
Correct. This replaces the green sheet. And which is nice because it's all in one place and it's attached into your opportunity. So you're not bouncing back and forth from all different programs.
All right. And then my other question was, when I go into my DocuSign, I don't have any, my folders are empty. And normally when I was in Dotloop, you guys provided like custom folders for buyers.
We have all of that, and that's a different class, Steve. That's the DocuSign class. And I think I may have sent you a video to take a look at it. We do have in DocuSign all of our templates just the same as we did in Dotloop.
All right.
But that's a different class.
Thank you, Aaron.
You're very welcome.
Aaron, can you just show me how you got to view them once they were done?
Once I got to view what?
Once it was all done and you wanted to see what you had in your commissions?
Yep, just click this commissions button here and you'll have a breakdown of it.
No, I mean like if you had numerous ones, where do you get a summary of the ones that you already have done?
You have to go into each individual opportunity for that, unfortunately. I don't believe that there is a list of commissions that you've created, like in just a list form. I believe you would have to go into the opportunity and look for it.
Okay.
And Aaron, I have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
So as I've got a handle on adding documents now, but I've kind of overfilled my list, and I think it's for Lori, it might be annoying to look at. Is there any way I can remove a document from that list once I've added it to?
Yeah, but that's not, yes, and I'll be more than happy to help you offline. That's just not what this class is for. So this is just for the commissions. That's okay. I'd be more than happy to help you after, but this class is just for the commission.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay. Hey, does anybody have any other questions about processing a commission in command? It's pretty simple.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron. So when you have two people on the same side, okay, and you're splitting them 50-50, and if you remember in the old green sheet program, you'd have column A and column B, and as you would go down, you get to that lovely pink box that said, I want to contribute X amount of dollars to KW Cares. And you would have to answer that question for both agents. Is that a glitch of command right now, or can a second agent show, can that be shown? I didn't see that in your illustration.
If you could just repeat, I don't understand the question, I'm sorry.
Okay, so picture column A in the
Right.
old Greensheet program.
Mhm.
Get down to the pink box where it says, do you want to contribute $10 to KW Cares and KW Bold and whatever.
Yeah, it's all here. So if I were, it just was glitching. So if I were to change this here, I'm just in another one, and if I were to say that there's 2 agents on here,
Right.
and maybe it'll work a little bit better here. That would be good.
I just didn't see it in your previous
Yeah.
example.
Well,
with
because
Lori.
yeah, it was glitching, and unfortunately, I was having a hard time. So
Yeah.
let's see. So I'm the first agent, and I can put here that I want to donate $10 or $20 to KW Cares. And now I'm able to add the second agent. I'm going to add the second agent to my transaction at the same 0.5. And it seems to be working much better this time, so that's good. I think I'm just impatient and don't wait for it to stop twirling. And then see, Diane, it opens up its own box here for them to put their own KW Cares.
Okay, good.
Here. So yeah, so this worked much, much better this time for some reason. So I was able to break the unit down and add the second agent here. And it breaks down their commission, your commission, and then on the right now you'll see on pay to agents, it shows you both of you. And you are able to do the KW Cares in there.
So would Lori be able to see where her commission is coming from and another site, or that's just not there?
Well, usually in this instance, you're on a team when this happens. So the opportunities for a team are able to be viewed. So yes, she would be able to see it if you're on a team. I believe if you're just splitting a transaction, no, at this point, the only person that would be able to see it is the person that created the opportunity. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Delise, if you want to do a one for test practice, absolutely. Just make sure that in the title, or even over here, actually, this will indicate something else I can show you. Underneath, before you submit, there's a little section here where you can add notes, right underneath your summary. So if it's a test and you want to just add a note that says this is a test, then I can just disregard it. I'll just return it to you as a test. So yeah, absolutely, you can do a test one for practice. Just make sure we know that it's a test. Yeah, Lynn, I agree. I think this is so much better than Greensheets. The Greensheets were getting really antiquated and old, and the fact that you had to log into a completely different system now to do them is crazy. Karen, the glitch was the unit total can't be more than 1. Yeah, I might have just been, it was freezing up on me, so I may, that may have been exactly what I did. So each unit, of course, does have to equal a 1, just like it did before, each side. And it'll even tell you here on the bottom, now that I've equaled 1, that I can't add any more agents. It won't let me. So it helps you establish the information. So great, last call for questions on this. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do.
Erin, do you want to go back and show how we can pull a listing from KWLS?
Sure, absolutely. So when I'm originally putting in the offer, if I didn't already put the listing in, and I want to add, let's say I want to add a new offer. I have to be in a listing commission. Hang on. Let me go. I have here. So I can add the offer for the listing commission. And you'll see up here a button that says select from listings. And it'll automatically default to your own listings, which is why it says that the list is empty, because I don't have any listings. So if you need to select all, you can select any listing in all of Keller Williams. So it's here. But if you have here this only my listings, you'll be able to pull your listings and pull the information in. So you have 2 ways to do that. Either you can go into the details and put it in here, or you can go when you create the offer and select from listings. And Rose, to answer your question, this class, the recording of this class will be on the YouTube channel that we have within the next couple of hours. It'll be.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or things you want to see within this commission section? Well, if that's it, I thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you enjoy doing these commissions in command.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.